What's the strangest gift you've ever received that still warmed your heart? My grandpa gave me a bag of rocks for my 15th birthday, and I thought he'd finally lost it. I'm talking about literal rocks. Not gems, not crystals, just regular gray and brown rocks he'd apparently collected from his backyard. They came in a crumpled paper bag with "Happy Birthday, Becca" written in his shaky handwriting. My parents looked mortified. My little brother Jake started laughing until Mom elbowed him. "Thanks, Grandpa," I said, trying not to sound disappointed. I mean, my friends got cars and iPhones for their birthdays. I got geological samples. Grandpa just winked and said, "You'll figure it out, kiddo." For weeks, that bag sat on my desk, mocking me. I'd moved out most of my childhood stuff to make room for more mature decorations, but somehow those rocks stayed. Every time I looked at them, I wondered if Grandpa was developing dementia or if this was some weird test. Then one night, I was stressed about this massive history project that was due the next day. I'd procrastinated until the last minute, and I was panicking about how I was going to research the entire Civil War in one night. I grabbed one of Grandpa's rocks without thinking and started fidgeting with it while I read. Something felt different about it. There were tiny ridges I hadn't noticed before. I held it up to my desk lamp and almost dropped it. There were letters carved into the surface. Tiny, barely visible letters that spelled, "Look closer." My heart started racing. I dumped the entire bag onto my bed and examined each rock under my lamp. Every single one had something carved into it. Some had single letters, others had numbers, and a few had tiny symbols that looked like arrows. It took me 3 hours to figure out it was a puzzle. The numbers corresponded to letters in the alphabet, and the arrows showed the order. When I finally decoded everything, I had an address I didn't recognize, and the words, "Your real birthday present." The address led me to a storage unit across town. Grandpa was waiting there the next Saturday with the key and the biggest grin I'd ever seen on his face. Inside was a completely restored 1969 Volkswagen Beetle, bright yellow with new tires and a red bow on the hood, but that wasn't even the best part. Taped to the dashboard was a photo of my grandma sitting in the exact same car when she was my age. "This was her first car," Grandpa said, his voice getting shaky. "I've been working on it in secret for 2 years. Wanted to surprise you both, but she never got to see it finished." Grandma had passed away the year before. I'd been devastated because we were supposed to go on a road trip together for my 16th birthday. She'd promised to teach me to drive stick shift and show me all her favorite diners from when she was young. "She made me promise to give this to you when you turned 15, Grandpa continued. "Said you'd need something to practice on before the real adventure." I started crying right there in the storage unit. Not just because of the car, but because I realized Grandpa had spent months planning this elaborate treasure hunt. He'd carved every single rock by hand, probably staying up late in his garage when his arthritis was bothering him. But there was more. In the glove compartment, he'd hidden a stack of letters from Grandma. She'd written one for every major milestone she thought she might miss. My first day of college, my wedding day, my first job, even one labeled, "For when you're having a bad day and need to remember you're loved." The car itself was amazing, but the rocks became something even more special.